Surprised to hear that there is a new course record of 5 minutes 22 for that. Just beat that by 1 second. What a great race that was.
Great race it was. Now here are two single scullers whose names are pretty well known on the circuit. Lucy Glover from Warrington and Pippa Whitaker from Imperial College. What's the connection? My granddad was from Warrington. Pippa Whitaker won a double scull with my daughter when when Pippa was rowing down at Henley Rowing Club, and we've kept an eye on Pippa over the years, and here she is now sculling for Imperial. Lucy Glover, pretty well known on the circuit, very good pedigree. The Lancashire lass looks to be a length up, if not more.
And she hasn't had it her own way this year, Lucy Glover.
No.
National schools didn't go her way at all.
No.
And really surprised, I think she was, to, as were we all, for her just to get the bronze medal here. So she's not unbeaten this season, which she has been in the past.
She had a poor national schools regatta, didn't she? She did. I remember somebody pointing and said, "Right, there's your winner." At the time, the time trials. Well, that's the kiss of death, isn't it? Because what'd she get? 5th, 6th? I don't know.
I think she got a bronze in that.
Okay.
But now she's making up for it. Slight wobble there, but now she's making up for it. She's got 3 lengths ahead of Pippa Whitaker, and sculling aggressively, sculling well, and wants to show, I think, everyone else that she's back where she should be.
Yeah.
It's difficult to believe that these athletes are not full-time athletes. The amount of training that they do, they give up so much for their sport, and the quality. We keep talking about this, but the quality of British sculling, junior and junior rowing, is absolutely tremendous. And I'm not going to apologise for saying yet again, hats off and thanks to all those coaches around the country that spend hours and hours, volunteer coaches spend hours and hours, go on courses, get better themselves so that they can put back into the sport perhaps something that they've had in the past.
I was talking to Di Binley earlier, who's well known. Does a lot of the old Facebook stuff, not shy to give her opinion on things. And her and I were just chatting earlier and saying, this sport, of all the sports I've known, this sport would be absolutely shot to bits if it wasn't for the volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. I mean, pretty much everybody involved. Anyway, I won't ramble on about that. But they, well done, guys, boys, girls, umpires. You're all volunteers, coaches. This sport is terrific. Thanks to you.
Absolutely.
End of. Right.
Well, do we still like umpires?
Lucy Glover. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You're getting Christmas cards from many. Right. Well. Yes. Dear Greg, the umpire's always right. That was the letter you got last year.
It was. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yes. Abusive postcard to follow. Right. There you go, Greg.
Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't that a beautiful scene?
We live in this place, It's amazing.
I know.
What a beautiful. If you're watching this and you're within 3 miles of this course, you really shouldn't be inside. You should be down here, because no matter how good our commentating is and how good the pictures are, it's not as good as actually physically being here to watch these absolutely brilliant athletes.
This is one of the hottest. I think it might have been 2011, was it? Where I managed to burn myself to a frazzle. But it might have been 2011, 2012. But this is hot, this one. And as a result, nice warm water, lack of wind, and the results and records are tumbling. Another result, Greg.
Yeah, for the Leicester Club, for the Intermediate Club Coxed 4, that great race between Lee and Vesta. And as you saw, it was Leicester that won by just half a length in the end. Vesta had a real good go at them towards the end. And guess what? New record, 5 minutes 18. Absolutely brilliant. Beat it by 2 seconds. This is another exciting race.
Penultimate race. Gloucester Hartbury, Isle of Ely. Seen both of them up close. Isle of Ely, I must admit, they were a bit of a surprise package for me. just how quick they were. Gloucester Hartbury, well, you know, they played games, haven't they? Where have they been all year? National schools, they put in a couple doing this and something doing that, leaving the quads alone, having won this event, I think, for the last 2, if not 3 years. You know, where have they been? I'll tell you where they are at the moment. They're about half a length down on Isle of Ely.
Well, I've been watching Isle of Ely too. I agree with you. They're a bit of a surprise package. I've not seen them much at all, I don't think, this season. But as they go past us, you'll be able to see, and from the drone footage too, what great athletes they are. Physically great athletes, but also obviously technically too, because let's be honest, Gloucester Hartbury are really strong. Have they won the Jubilee at Regatta?
Last 2 years?
And now they've come back at them. And just as I keep talking, there's Gloucester Hartbury. Great push. Yeah. And just look at the puddle. You can see the puddles there. Gloucester Hartbury really powering down, and within the course of 50 metres, they've drawn level.
Well, they have got a terrific rowing programme there, and I remember watching them here. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, certainly for the last couple of years, they've won national schools. Henley Women's have gone on to win the Jubilee at the Royal. But this year they played games. They've only just sort of shown their hand now, and it's a pretty strong hand, isn't it?
It's an extremely strong hand. I think you were talking earlier about being able to move quickly a boat, and 8s you can't accelerate just as much maybe as some of the smaller boats, and you saw that acceleration after about 350 metres here. Just suddenly, it was putting the afterburners on. You know, we've started, we're safe. Yeah, we're not worried. They've got half a length up on us. Now, let's do it. Foot down. Here we go. And they're really in rhythm now, aren't they?
Tremendous cheer. I can hear it from here, from down the enclosures. Gloucester Hartbury, Isle of Ely. This event is always fascinating. I was talking to a couple of the coaches earlier, and the coach from Warrington was telling me who he thought his top 3 or 4 would be. Of course, Headington are in the elite quads, but it looks like they might have a bit of competition here in the next big race that these girls will be doing, which will be the Jubilee, Diamond Jubilee at Henley Royal. Assuming they're all qualified, which I should imagine they will. Look at this for a performance. So behind off the island, and where 95% of crews go on and win from being ahead, these girls came from behind, and now they lead by a length and a half. And look at the power that goes down there. That is what is. You know, you look at some quads and they look as if they're almost bouncing, dancing, and knocking it along. That just looks like boom power, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, you look at the puddles from that drone picture we used, and the power. As soon as they put it on the foot plate, whoomph, off it goes. I don't know, and apologies to the coaches if I get this wrong, but I just thought the Isle of Ely were neater. But actually, you've got to have a bit of both, haven't you? You've got to scull neatly. You've got to have power. And these Gloucester Hartbury girls have got both technique and power. Wonderful.
Wonderful stuff. Last race of the day then is on the start. This is the